Ever stop to think about the unseen forces that power our world? No, I'm not talking about some mystical energy. I'm talking about the brilliant minds behind the electrical systems we rely on every single day.
It's easy to take those things for granted, Ron.
Totally. But today we're flipping the script and shining a light on the unsung heroes of innovation, electrical engineering technicians.
Ah, yes. The masterminds turning those napkin sketches into the devices we can't imagine living without. We're diving deep into their world today.
Exactly. We've got a treasure trove of insights from RoleCatcher.com all about this exciting and in-demand career path.
And let me tell you, it's about way more than just connecting a few wires here and there.
So true. We're talking about the design, the testing, the manufacturing, the operation of electrical systems, everything from the power grid to the smartphone in your pocket. Someone has to make those complex systems work.
That's where our electrical engineering technicians come in. They're the ones working side by side with electrical engineers, taking those grand designs and turning them into real-world systems. They bridge that gap between imagination and actual functionality.
It's like they're fluent in two languages, the language of design and the language of practical application. What's that like day to day?
Well, think of it this way. Imagine a spectrum. On one end, you have the theoretical brilliance of electrical engineering, and on the other, you have hands-on electrical work. Electrical engineering technicians, they sit right there in the middle.
Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. So, they understand the ins and outs of those intricate designs, but they're also the ones on the front lines, building, testing, troubleshooting, making sure those systems actually work.
You got it. That concept to reality journey, it all comes down to them. And that's something I think speaks to the inner learner in all of us, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's that aha moment when a theoretical concept transforms into something tangible and actually works. And judging by the RoleCatcher info, it seems like this field touches on so many different industries.
Oh, absolutely. Renewable energy, telecommunications, aerospace, you name it, electrical engineering technicians are there, which probably explains why this skill set is in such high demand right now.
High demand, always a good sign when you're thinking about career paths. But before we get ahead of ourselves, I want to rewind for a sec. We've tossed around the term electrical engineering technician a few times now, but for those who are new to this, can we break it down even further? Paint a clearer picture of what this role really entails.
Okay, so we've got this bridge between the brilliant ideas and the actual tangible systems. But what does it actually look like to be an electrical engineering technician? What are you doing all day?
Well, picture this. You're in a lab, maybe wearing some safety glasses, and you're meticulously soldering tiny components onto a circuit board. And that board, that's going to end up in a brand new electric car.
Wow. Okay, so we're talking about being right there on the cutting edge technology. Absolutely. And the work environments for these technicians are just as diverse as the technologies they work with.
Yeah.
One day you might be in a lab testing those circuits we talked about, and the next you could find yourself on a manufacturing floor, making sure the production of electrical components for, say, solar panels is running smoothly.
So it's this blend of hands-on work and then more analytical problem solving, right?
Exactly.
I'm looking at this RoleCatcher guide right now, and they have a whole section on the pros and cons of being an electrical engineering technician, and I have to say, those pros are looking pretty good.
Yeah, and one of the biggest pros is definitely the job market. It's booming right now. Skilled electrical engineering technicians, they're in high demand, which means competitive salaries and amazing growth potential. But it's not just about the money, right?
Totally. It's got to be something you enjoy doing, something you're passionate about.
For sure. And think about that feeling when you've been working on a complex electrical system, troubleshooting it, and suddenly that aha moment, you find the issue and boom, you get everything working again. That feeling is pretty awesome.
There's nothing quite like it, right? That I made this happen feeling. Although the guide did mention some challenges. Like, this field can be pretty demanding, sometimes with long hours or working under pressure. Anything in the cons section surprise you?
You know what really stood out to me? The importance of communication and teamwork. Obviously, technical expertise is crucial, but being able to explain those complex ideas, maybe to your colleagues, the engineers you're working with, even clients sometimes, that's so important.
It makes sense though, right? You're not just working in a silo. You're part of a much larger team, and everyone's working towards the same goal.
Exactly. And as you progress in your career, those teamwork and communication skills, they only become more important.
Oh, I bet.
Imagine you're a senior electrical engineering technician. You might be leading a team, or maybe you're the one giving presentations on a project to stakeholders. those soft skills are essential.
So there's a real human element to all of this, even though it's rooted in technology.
Absolutely. For anyone listening who loves tinkering, who enjoys a good puzzle, and who likes working with others, this field really offers this awesome blend of technical challenges and personal rewards.
It really does seem like you can really build a career in this field, work your way up. And speaking of that, the RoleCatcher info actually lays out these different career stages for electrical engineering technicians. It's not like you're just stuck in one spot, right?
Not at all. It's a field with tons of room to grow, tons of different paths you can take. The way they break it down on the website is with 4 main stages: entry level, then junior technician, then mid-level technician, and finally senior technician.
Okay, so walk me through those stages. Like, what are you actually doing at each level? What makes them different?
So at that entry level, it's all about the fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
You're getting your hands dirty, learning the ropes, helping out with those basic tasks. Think of it like, an apprenticeship, getting that hands-on experience with the tools, the testing equipment, that sort of thing.
Makes sense. And then you move up to junior technician. What changes there? More responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. As a junior technician, you're taking on bigger tasks, doing more troubleshooting, but maybe still with a bit of supervision. And this is often where people start to specialize a bit.
Yeah.
Figure out what really interests them. Maybe they're super into renewable energy systems, or maybe industrial automation is more their thing.
That's got to be when being a learner really pays off, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned specialization, so you don't have to have your whole career path figured out on day one.
No way. That's what's so cool about this field. You can explore a bit, find your niche along the way.
Mhm.
The important thing is to stay curious. Always be open to learning new things.
That's awesome. So we've gone from entry level to junior technician. What's next? Mid-level.
Yep. Mid-level technician is where you really start to step into that leadership role.
Okay, so leadership, what does that actually look like for an electrical engineering technician?
It can vary a bit depending on the specific role,
Right.
but imagine this. You're supervising a small team of technicians, making sure projects are on track, maybe even training new hires. You're becoming that go-to person for your area of expertise.
So there's a mentorship aspect to it as well. That's really interesting. I hadn't really thought about that. It goes back to that whole collaboration thing we were talking about earlier.
Totally. And then finally, you reach the top senior technician.
Yeah.
You're like the conductor of the orchestra, the maestro of the electrical systems.
Okay, maestro, now that's a title. What kind of stuff are you handling at that level?
This is the big leagues. You're designing complex electrical systems, overseeing massive projects, managing budgets, maybe even consulting with clients to find the best solutions. You've got years of experience under your belt, so you're the one everyone relies on for guidance. And remember when we were talking about reading comprehension? That comes in super handy here.
Yeah. So that's where the maestro really flexes those skills.
Big time. Think about it. A senior technician is looking at the schematics for some brand new energy efficient building, right? They're not just reading lines on a page. They're picturing the entire system in their head. They're thinking about potential problems, making sure everything will work together seamlessly with the existing infrastructure. It's super technical and seriously important work.
It sounds like it takes a special kind of brain to do that, the technical stuff, but also that big picture thinking. Now, RoleCatcher also mentions certifications and stuff like that, like professional development. How important is all of that if you want to move up in this field?
Oh, it's huge. Think of it like leveling up your skills.
Yeah.
Right? It shows everyone you're serious about your career and that you're keeping up with all the new tech and trends. Like one that kept popping up was the Certified Electrical Technician Certification, the CET. That one carries a lot of weight in the industry. It tells employers you're the real deal.
This is like a stamp of approval, right? You've got the skills, you've got the knowledge, you're good to go.
Exactly. Plus, technology never sits still, right? There are always new things to learn, new ways to do things. That's what makes this kind of work so exciting.
Always evolving, always something new to learn. Sounds perfect for the learners out there. But let's talk about actually landing one of these awesome jobs. RoleCatcher has a ton of info on interview prep. Did anything stand out to you?
You know, it's one thing to have the skills, but you've got to be able to sell yourself in that interview.
Totally. Make sure your interviewer understands what you bring to the table.
Right. And what I love about RoleCatcher's approach is how they use AI to help you out. You can upload your resume, plug in the job description, and boom, the system tells you exactly how your skills match up. Or if there are any gaps you need to work on. That's huge.
It's like having a personal career coach right in your back pocket.
Totally. Oh, and then there's the question bank. Thousands of potential interview questions, all specific to the job you're going for. No more generic advice. This is the good stuff.
Love that. It's all about going into that interview feeling prepped and ready to go, right?
Confidence is key, right?
Yeah.
RoleCatcher has really thought of everything to help you put your best foot forward.
They really have. And with that, I think we've done it. We've explored the ins and outs of being an electrical engineering technician. It's been quite the deep dive. So, as we wrap things up, what's the one big takeaway you hope our listeners are walking away with today?
I think it's this. In a world that's only becoming more reliant on technology, electrical engineering technicians, they are the ones who keep everything running. They take those amazing ideas, the ones that could change the world, and they make them real. It's a career path with so much potential, so much opportunity for growth, and at the end of the day, you're making a real difference. What's not to love?
Couldn't have said it better myself. And for anyone listening who's feeling inspired to learn more about this awesome career, do yourself a favor and check out RoleCatcher.com. They've got everything you need and more. Until next time, keep those brains buzzing.